Shalom, guys. Peace to you. I hope that you are doing well today. Today is November the 21st, 2025. Are we in 2025? Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's just going. We're fixing to be in 2026 very soon. Can you believe that? Thought we'd be like the Jetsons at this point. We are in some ways, I guess. Anyway, happy birthday, happy anniversary, all that kind of stuff. We're moving through in the zodiac from Scorpio into Sagittarius season. And so those of you who just previously had a birthday, hope it was fantastic and all that kind of stuff. If you are part of this platform, I appreciate you all so very much for sticking with me through thick and thin, the good, the bad, the ugly, all that kind of stuff. You all have seen it all here. All of it has been here. If your brand spanking new, buckle up. Audio discretion advised. If you have little ones around, it's really that intense. It's always for upright purposes. This is not a religious channel, but we are for uprightness and keeping the ways of the Most High. We learn karmic activity and why even just things that are just like, what in the world was that about? God uncover some truth about a karmic activity and why certain things even pop up. And most I can speak for himself. He makes me just tremble and shake on the inside. I didn't know that California was burning, and for 2 days straight on live readings we were just reading, and all these pictures of fire and words of ashes and fire, and scripture was coming out about, you know, God burning even cities to the ground and stuff like that was coming out. And 2 days later I heard the Spirit of the living God say turn the TV on, and California was burning. God's done that with earthquakes. 5 days later there was earthquake that took place. Jehovah will prophesy here, and we need to hear the voice of the Most High, because he says every man's way, people think that their way is the right way, and it really leads to death at the end. There's no counsel outside of Jehovah. His ways aren't like our ways. And so somebody just got a bright idea to go do something. It could be a deadly idea. And so we want to hear from the voice of Jehovah, or it's just a lie. Why are you here? Why am I here? This is not a channel for anything else but truth and tangible proof at the hand of the Spirit of the living God that he still speaks today. And we got people wanting to control that. They don't want people to know that God's alive, and he is alive. You're breathing, right? The wicked, they take it for granted. They're desolate there. And we look at a lot of our enemy, because God tells us not to be ignorant of the devil's devices. There is a real energy of carnality from another dimension inside this dimension that is really at work. It's wickedness. And at any moment, you and I could get tripped up if our eyes are not on the Most High for truth and for reality from the spiritual standpoint of view that only gets us through the life here in this realm until we go on to that other dimension. And everybody's fate is that, but there's separation in that dimension depending on what you and I do here in the 3D. We're told to walk in the 5D, which is the spiritual realm. Jehovah Elohim, maker of heaven and earth. I appreciate you. We just ask at your hand alone, because there is none beside you, like you tell us in Isaiah 45. There is none beside me. You swore by yourself. You are Yeshua. You are salvation. People need salvation. Somebody don't like that somebody knows what they are. That jumped out of this deck right before I got started, and it just hit my spirit. So somebody don't like that you know what somebody is, or vice versa, flip the energy however it goes. But there's STDs out here. Somebody's in some sexual mess then. Somebody need to go to the doctor. There's sexually transmitted diseases. Somebody want to have sex with you, God's forewarning you they got a sexually transmitted disease, you're going to get something. If you already did, then something's about this is coming out. I have freedom of speech and I have rights, let me just say, on my platform. Nobody has a right to try to withhold my platform. Let the wrath of God come upon every person behind the scenes trying to do some nonsense on this platform. You've already been caught and you've been forewarned over and over and over. I don't care what you're from. The government, I don't care what you're from. You're illegal on my YouTube platform. You're a criminal in the eyes of God Almighty. It says that in mercy shall the throne be established, and he shall sit upon it in truth in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hastening for righteousness. What else you want to bring out here? And somebody's needing some mercy on this STD deal, whatever that's about. Somebody needs to put a judgment on something out here. There's danger out here. There's a warning out here on something. There's a warning out here. Somebody got sex disease. Could be deadly for some cases. But why would you want to? Most High says, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are you in my hands, O house of Yisrael. So, look, if you belong to God, he's going to do whatever he's going to do. And mold the situation out here. Whoever needs to hear that, thus saith Jehovah, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand, saith Jehovah, to the house of Israel. Better is the poor that walks in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. What else you going to bring out here, Jehovah? Well, this came out last night. The Democratic Party came out real strong last night. Meeny, tickle you foreseen. It means that God has numbered thy kingdom and has finished it. There's danger out here. God's finished it. You're weighed in the balance and you're found wanting and your kingdom is divided. Something's divided here in some type of headship. Maybe something going on at your work. It says the getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro to them that seek death. There's death out here. And it's better for you, even if you are poor, to walk in your integrity in some dangerous situation out here and for whatever somebody's doing or did try to do. It's better for you to be poor and you walk in your integrity than somebody who's perverse in their lips. They're a fool. The fool says there is no God, but God says that they're going to be afraid because he is in the generation of the righteous. There's death out here on somebody who's gotten some type of treasures by a lying tongue. Somebody's perverse to God out here. And if you are walking with the Most High and you are going astray and through some type of temptation out here, that's a bad ordeal. I don't know. Somebody needs to get up in here and real quick put a judgment on something. At the bottom of the deck, it says that Jehovah's revealing that somebody's caught for sleeping with the enemy, and they got STDs now. Did it pay off for you? They were doing it. They were doing it for riches. Joke's on you, fool. That ain't funny, but you know God laughs at his enemies every day, is what he tells us. So some people are already in this energy. Some people are being warned you can bypass this energy. Others of you, right in the middle of it, you need to get up in here and establish some type of truth and hasten real quick to some righteousness. Those of you who can turn to God, you still have your soul. You better let him, be the potter and you the clay and let him mold something out here. But somebody's already weighed in the balance in some cases. What are you going to bring out here? You hold up. Somebody's married in the mix of this. And you're sleeping beside somebody that you think is your partner. And you're sleeping with the enemy too. Because somebody's mixing themselves with somebody out here that's got an STD. And you need to check your spouse. If there's been any kind of distance between you and your spouse. Don't be making something fit that don't. I'm talking to specific people that you will already know that you've been questioning some stuff, that your knower is going off. Most High is saying there's danger out here. You need to do some questioning with your spouses, with people that you're laying with, and things like that. This is dangerous out here. Some of y'all sleeping with the enemy right beside your bed every night. Something's happening. The sun in the reverse, and then the tree. The sun in the reverse. This is prideful type of energy out here because somebody's wanted in the balance here. There's an abominable person out here. This is pride, conceit, and ego in the reverse. For those of you in the upright, this is humbling yourself and doing something. This is forcing energy when the sun comes out. The motto here is I will. Somebody in your household is here. There's promises. Your family tree is also here. Getting grounded here. That's an earth sign. It's a Leo, and any earth sign could be involved in something with this as well. Okay. What else? What's hidden here? We need to know of the bear. It's the third time this card's jumped out this morning. This is your parents. This is a business. This is jealousy. This is overbearing energy with the bear. It's also Russia connections for some of you all. There's the clock. There's timing to something. Timing to just in general. Not everybody's dealing with all the same energies with, sexual matters, but there's timing and something's dangerous around some timing energy. Somebody's been doing something for a long time, lying and getting treasures and seeking their own death through theft out here as well. You could be a gambler. That came out yesterday. This is taking a chance, dice in the hidden space. Somebody's taking a chance at a specific time to do something out here, but there's danger around this. If you're trying to be sneaky, God's already weighed somebody in the balance. One of the scriptures that came out this morning is that the king's heart is in the hand of Jehovah. It says, as the rivers of water, he turns it whithersoever he will. God already knows what's down in our heart. The sun represents the heart as well. Okay, well, God's turning somebody's world upside down with a force. Maybe when the sun goes down, okay? That's a big deal. Anyway, let's get the tarot out here. Something about timings in your hidden. Something about all the meanings of this bear that we just went through is in the hidden. And taking a chance or gambling something, or a gambler is involved in something. There is some type of money that is attached to something. It's through lying. And somebody's perverse to God with it. Sleeping with an enemy. Strife. 5 of Wands is out here. Okay, well, anyway, it ain't good. There's danger out here. Jealousy twice came out. They're in your hidden space. Somebody jealous. Or you're jealous of somebody. Sparks are flying. We had that word sparks come out the other day, and they're here, and you're going to walk in those sparks, folks. If you don't seek some judgment on a situation. What else you want to bring out here, Yehovah? You just push through something today, folks. Somebody's listening to communication behind them. 8, this is the 9 of Wands, but 8 of those wands, the 8 of Wands is a communication. It's also Cupid's little arrows. The sun go back to, somebody's sleeping with somebody out here. Love and romance. It really ain't love and romance. It didn't even come out in the upright. It's dangerous. Somebody's with somebody that's dangerous. That psychopath energy's out here. Somebody's listening to communication, and it's oppressive. It's a wounded warrior. This is about pressing through because the battle is freaking real out here today because of what somebody's doing, seeking their own death. This is a reunion of something. Fire energy, specifically Sagittarius and Leo energy, and then any earth sign is coming out in a really big way, and anything else with these cards. What else you want to bring out here? There's somebody's coming back around to do something here. Somebody's hands being forced in the matter. That's what I was saying with the sun. Dorms and rooms. Somebody you went to college with could be here. Okay, any kind of rooms, dorms. So a godly love, it came out in the reverse, because something's, if you do have a godly love, then you do. But if somebody thinks that they're sleeping beside somebody who's supposed to be godly with you as well, somebody's sleeping with an enemy. I don't read these in the reverse, but given the wording that is out here, it came out that way on purpose for a reason. For a confirmation to something. A group that's bound together, somebody's hand's going to be forced. And so there's a group. There's forcing out here. There's forcing out here. Increase in promotion. It's been done by a lying tongue, and thievery has been out here. So we got thievery today, and we got sexual matters, and we've got people doing sexual matters for thievery purposes. However it's going for any given person. Okay, some type of talent is out here. We have a preacher that came out sideways. Some people are upright, some people are not, and then there's the business deal that's out here sideways. Again, there's danger around it. If you think that you're going to do, if you're upright and somebody else ain't, they're doing it, they're lying. You're a target out here. Somebody can take a gamble to do something, or they are a gambler and they need money for something to keep their little gambling going. As well, it's time to speak. Somebody's come forward as a reunion. You've already dealt with this person before. They want a reconciliation of something out here. Show me this time. Because that time energy has really come out real strong on the platform. God had me read right out of scripture about timing and changing times. Most High says he's the one that changes the times and the seasons. He reveals deep secret things in the dark because light is with him. If somebody needs some enlightenment, okay? There's a card in this other deck that came out last night, and the Most High, when I was writing my cards out, it said, it's come out on the platform before, that somebody's sleeping with a group of people, because somebody gets around out here. They got STDs, so they sleep around with a group of people, and the group of people don't know about it. They all each think that I'm the only one, I'm the only one, I'm the only one, and they ain't. This information is coming to the light. Then there's a great big fight. Death matters out here. Somebody could obviously die out of a situation. This kind of stuff brings the devastation. A couple different times, and right now, so I feel energy if you are new, and sometimes it just expresses itself in just really big ways, and it's hard sometimes to feel it and stuff like that. But I'm sensing this is a clue for somebody who stutters, or they stutter when there's a lot of energy around them. There's like that's a clue for somebody. Somebody's dealing with either, or that's you. Whether you're upright or not, you're involved in something with this energy. Something about somebody who stutters. It's really strong, really strong, because I really am feeling it. Like, also just energies of just trying to find words to say. Somebody is coming back around trying to make amends to something. I mean, if you already had STDs by this person, I don't know. There's a danger out here. Wow. Laughter in the reverse, joy and healing and happiness. Okay, well, it jumped over here on the reconciliation is also about healing. It ain't funny. Laughter in the reverse. The word exhausted came out of the deck. And somebody needs to cut ties. You need to cut ties here. Because there will be strings attached in really big ways, especially if somebody can't heal. Somebody got a deadly sex disease in out here around something. Thrills. Look what's here. Oh, I thought it was the lust card. This is about, look, you do need to get away. You need to get away from somebody. It kind of looked like that lust card picture poking out. Lust is out here. There's the psychopath right there. Okay, well, there somebody is a psychopath. Okay, Yehovah, we just invite your presence in here to come upon every upright person involved in this situation who has the power to give a judgment. And we just hasten to righteousness in this matter. We just ask for a protection around any party, Yehovah, that is dealing with the psychopath, that is going to lose their mind when these strings begin to be cut. Just put a hedge of protection around people today. Get the wicked out of the way. Hold on. 2 came up. We have the truth, the letter T, and the DH, and the TH. Something about somebody's teeth could be here. But this, the phonics of this alone could be pushed together and make the word for death as well. This is about strategizing things. Somebody is. And it's dangerous. Okay? Somebody is exhausted in something and God's going to say time's out. Okay? Somebody's weighed in the balance on something today. You can go ahead and strategize. This is enchantment. And somebody was a snake the other day, really, really big, came out 3 times yesterday in 3 different ways. And King Solomon teaches us that you cannot enchant a snake. They're going to bite anyway. Because somebody can bite hard with the disease out here. Dangerous. Anyway, they're lying because they want this money and everything else. Don't be their fool. They're a fool. Okay? Anyway, that rune came out. Also something about spinal issues. Somebody could have a clue or be a clue for something with your spine is here. But somebody needs to get a spiritual backbone spine is what you need. And the truth. This is hitting the target. This is clarity about something. The truth and the lie. Gets every one of these strings cut. This is like hatefulness with this rune also when it comes out, because somebody's crazy out here and jealous and overbearing on a matter. Okay? Something, maybe somebody likes to play darts or a spear or go fishing with whatever that is. There's 92. Of course it's here. Anyway, those of you who follow the channel, Tennessee specifically is also out here. The T and the N, the letter N is out here. Also the letter Q came out. The DH, the TH together, or the letter T by itself is also out here. All right, folks, let us keep our guard up. Heavy energy. Some of y'all are just connected somehow to somebody that's in this mess, and you need to be a support system, or you need to put a finger and point the direction for. So you heard this message for a reason. Whatever role you play in it, some type of leadership is in here attached with this matter, and there's a big division taking place, and somebody's hanging in the balance, and somebody's time's up. And whatever role you and I play in this today, even if you're just a person hearing this message, you just need to sit real quick and just do a prayer. You heard it for whatever reason, why. And so if you're the wicked party, you're in danger. You're the party that's getting judged by God, who's getting up in your face, and you're fixing to fall from his actual grace, which is really scary. That means somebody's going to go to hell out here. And there's no healing. This is not a funny situation. Laughter came out in the reverse. Look, people, I keep hearing accept, accept, accept. People need to accept this is the hour that we're in. God said he was doing a separation. You would know who's serving him and who's not. And people playing these little games and wanting people's money and thinking sex going to get them whatever they want. And they sleep with all these people. It's just blowing up in somebody's world today. Get out of the stuff if you can, if you still have your soul. Because God's sword, because this represents the sword, God says, my sword's sharper than any just two-edged sword. His word is sharper than any two-edged sword. It divides the soul and the spirit. Even so precise the bone and the marrow, he says. There's a cutting of something here. And God's saying, I'm cutting ties from you. Isn't that scary? I don't know, that kind of stuff scares me, but it's a reality. Check your partners today, folks. Anyway, let us stay in peace regardless how a situation is going. Shalom.